we are going to present our first game, Shuvani. Shuvani is a single-player isometric roguelike where action and strategy are complemented on a combat system based on music and magic. Unleash your true power and fulfill your destiny. First of all, we want to talk about why Shuvani is a roguelike. At the start of the project, we made a market research where we could see 3 trends on indie games. You can see adventure games, simulators, and roguelikes. Inside roguelikes, there is a trend to where developers mix mechanics from different games. For example, let's talk about Shuvani. These 3 are the parents of Shuvani. Hades as the most important isometric roguelike out there, League of Legends or MOBAs for that strategy part, and Enter the Gungeon as a twin stick shooter because how could you transform or trespass those mechanics for strategy to a controller using twin stick mechanics? So Shuvani is a nomadic artist whose family has been murdered and destroyed because of Gestal, and she has to run away to a dangerous forest where she has to fear heat dangers.
Okay, so what can we actually expect from this forest? Let's talk a little bit about the core loop of the game. First of all, in Shuvani, you will be constantly fighting hordes of enemies that will be out to kill you, providing for a very, very hostile environment. However, if you successfully defeat those enemies, you'll be given the opportunity to enhance your stats. That is to increase your maximum health, move speed, attack power, and even your critical chance. Not only this, but you'll also be given the opportunity to unlock powerful abilities you'll be able to use as weapons during combat. With all these tools by your side, you will be expected to traverse and advance through the forest in order to defeat the challenges that it has to offer. Now that we understand a little bit better the core loop of the game, let's take a look at the main and key features that Shuvani brings into the table. First of all the runs are procedurally generated, which means that the disposition of the different elements and rooms of the game is randomized, providing for a slightly different gaming experience every time you play the game. This is put together with 4 distinct types of enemies that allows for very varied encounters. However, all of this randomization does not hinder the difficulty of the game. It has been tweaked in order to ensure that every encounter is a little bit more difficult than the previous one, culminating in the more difficult battle against the boss. Also, all the abilities of the game have been divided into 4 different archetypes, 2 of which are oriented towards dealing damage, and the other 2 towards crowd controlling, that is, making sure that enemies are easier to hit. Of course, all the combat happens in real time, and all the mix and match you can do with the abilities allows for more than 600 different build combinations. When we put all of this together, Shuvani becomes a game with great replay value and very rich customization, leaving room for trying different synergies and combos, and also trying multiple playstyles. And on the other hand, it gives the game a very dynamic and engaging pacing. You have to constantly adapt to incoming enemies, and you can actually make active use of the environment. For example, if you push an enemy towards an obstacle, you will do damage to it. Let's also not forget that this game is actually a twin-stick shooter, so you actually have to aim your abilities in order to land them, which gives the game a little bit of a skill cap. It's a bit of a recap. Let's take a look at what we have accomplished within this vertical slice. We have the visual identity of the game with room generation and the combat system that includes 23 different abilities, 4 types of enemies, and a boss encounter. We've also implemented an stat system together with the complete UI of the game. But it's also important to mention that we've already sown the seeds that will allow us to further develop the game with a complete version in mind. This complete version will include some more narrative, more environments, enemies, and bosses that will allow for more dynamic difficulty scaling, and also more ability customization, maybe some progression that persists between runs, and some polished factors like in-game cinematics. Going back to this vertical slice, what have been our recent efforts? Well, we very recently joined DreamHack in Valencia. We were awarded for the best promotional artwork. I want to take a second to thank Laura, as the rest of our concept department, because this wouldn't have been possible without you. Your work has been completely amazing. Thank you very much, you guys. And we also have other events in our schedule. We've already made our application for the Best Indie Game contest, and we will be attending Indie Dev Day as well as PlayStation Talents in September. Most importantly, I'm very happy to announce that our demo will be available today, which is very exciting. But what about the future?
We have some plans, for example, attending to Guerrilla Game Festival, participating on Big Indie Contest for the Best Student Game, going to the big conference on Bilbao, Gamergy here in Madrid, and why not winning PlayStation Talents. Here you can see our collector's edition, which includes a poster, the award they won, 2 postcards, original soundtrack vinyl, stickers, and a music book of one of our original tracks. So thank you. If you want to know more about us, maybe joining the team, you can write us at inforaginggames@gmail.com and follow us on social media _raginggames.
Yes, if I may have your attention for a couple more seconds. So yeah, please make sure to check us out on Steam and please wishlist us. This has been everything from Raging Games. Thank you very much for your attention.